So I can completely understand. So for the viewers, I'm saying what he said about going around the Arunachalam Giri mountain is around 14 kilometers. People walk, they do the pradakshina or parikrama around the, like Kailash. How people do to the Kailash parikrama, they do it at Arunachalam. He's considered, the whole mountain is considered as Shiva. He's the fire, he's in fire element there in the temple too. So how about the Ramanashramam? That enter and then you have peacocks. The place itself, it doesn't feel like earth. That place doesn't feel like
Well,
earth.
say a different loka, it is Shiv loka, I believe.
And then everybody who enters that gate, it's automatically calm. Everyone is calm in that place.
And you can see there squirrels, monkeys, peacock, dogs, cows, everyone. It looks like everyone is
In harmony.
Divinity, yeah, in harmony, in that peace, in that love. And there is no fear. There is no fear. And when you absorb that, you get merged in it. You bring that peace with you, and this is the beauty of it. It is not a hill. It is Shiva. It is
Shiva.
that pure self, pure.
It is Shiva.
And when you see from that, and then you are open to that, it sorts out everything without any teaching, without any practice.
Yes.
I would say the Bhagwan's utmost important practice is only silence. If you can understand that silence, staying in meditation hall or staying in Samadhi hall or just roaming around there, that silence is there. And then if you can imbibe that silence, then there is no other teaching needed.
Yeah. And nobody asks you to do anything in Ramanashramam. It's just everybody does things in their own way, but at the same pace with such calmness. Did you sit in the meditation hall and meditate? Did you do meditation in the meditation
hall? Yeah, I sat in the meditation hall as well. And I also went to, I would say if the devotee goes there, you don't need a guide. Like I was thinking that who will guide where to go, what to do, but you just go random, and that randomness is the best way, I believe.
Yes.
But people who go there, I would say you go into the Ramana Ashram, you will find everything: Samadhi hall, meditation room, Bhagwan's mother Samadhi, and just roam around. There is a beautiful cow shed. But also go up the hill, go to Virupaksha cave, full of energy.
Skandashramam. Yes.
And then there are other places up there on the hill which you can find. Guhanima Shivaya temple is there.
Yes.
Bhagwan stayed. Mango Grove is there. Bhagwan stayed there. And of course, you have to go to the Arunachala temple.
Yes.
And then there is the Adi Annamalai temple, an old temple.
Yes, on the Girivalam route, you need to take a little deviation for Adi Annamalai temple.
And there are a lot of lingas, lot of temples. There is a lot, but I would say that first time you go, you get absorbed in ashram and up the hill.
Yes.
Then later on, you can explore other things. There are so many nice and beautiful temples.
Can you tell me briefly, because I want to stay in his bliss for more time. So little bit about how he came to Arunachalam and where he lived in Arunachalam.
So look, he was born, I would tell you the figure. So he was born on 30th of December, 1879, Tiruchuli, and he studied there till the age of 3. For 3 years he studied, then he moved to Madurai.
Yes.
Madurai he went to, before Madurai he went to Dindigal. His uncle Subayar used to live in Dindigal, where he went at the age of 11, 1890 to 1891, only for 1 year. Then what happened was he was studying there at Scott's Middle School, and then he went to, in 1891, his uncle got transferred to Madurai. So he went with uncle to Madurai, studied there at Scott's Middle School and American Mission High School. At the age of 13, his father died in 1892. So he stayed in Madurai with uncle, but the whole family was split. Some went with the other uncle. So his older brother joined him. His name was Nagaswami. And then I want to tell you something very interesting, which I found, that there were sannyasis in his family. He took sannyas, and one of his father's brother also took sannyas.
Yes.
So it was a family.
I think his name is also Ramana Maharshi's the actual name, right? The person who took sannyasi for I think his father's brother.
Venkatraman. His name
Venkatraman. So I think one of his father's brother who took sannyasi, I think is also named Venkatraman.
could be.
I read
don't
somewhere. Yeah.
So what happened was, the most interesting fact about his life was he was just like a normal child, not much interested in studies and playing. In 1895, when he was 16 years of age, he heard the name Arunachala. One of the relatives came from, at that age, he heard the name Arunachala for the first time. When he heard the name Arunachala, something, he was inquisitive about it and it looked very familiar, but he thought before that this name might be something place which is not on earth. Never thought there is a place on earth which is known as Arunachala. So now the most important thing I want to bring to your notice is that he heard this name Arunachala in November 1895. 8 months later, in July 1896, he got enlightenment. So for 8 months, that name Arunachala did all that magic within this 16 years old boy. And at that period, he read Periya Puranam, about the 639 hours.
Yes.
And he used to visit the Madurai temple.
So
But
for the viewers, I'm just telling 63 Nainars or the Nainars are people who worship Shiva. So particularly the 63 Nainars, they sang about Shiva. They were the best devotees, you could say.
So then after that enlightenment, he stayed at home until end of August. So one fine day, his brother told him that you don't study, you are just keeping a book in front of you and you are behaving like you are a sannyasi. Why don't you just leave these things then? Somehow he thought inside, yes, I should leave. And then that day, actually, immediately he left, took some few monies.
How he actually saw his dead body also. I think at one time where his...
So I would say we talk that as his experience of death experience, which brought enlightenment at that moment. He was just sitting in his room and suddenly he was gripped by the sudden fear of death, that he might die. And that was very intense. When it came to him, he thought, let it be, let that death come, let's see what happens. And in that moment of flash, he found that the body, and he actually enacted that the body is rigid like rigor mortis and it's stiff and it cannot move, it cannot do anything. He also imagined now this body will be taken to be burned. But then he realized that even though the body is gone, he's still there, he's alive, and that was the revelation within him through which his Manonasha happened, his mind merged into the absolute, and he realized that he is eternal and he is not the body, he is not the mind. And all this came very quickly, as Bhagwan put it down, that he explained it long, but he said this all happened so quickly. Like it was not like he was thinking and then doing. He said everything just happened in a flash of second. And from that day onwards, he didn't do any tapas. Some people have very wrong notion that he came to Arunachala, he did tapasya and he got enlightenment. Nothing like that.
No.
He got everything in flash of a second, and then that energy pulled him to Arunachala to help all of us.
Yes.
Because he stayed there, he never moved to any place, and that is a blessing to us. And I think he, in a way, showed us Arunachala, that even when he is not in a body form, then there's already a form, because for people who have Deha Buddhi, they cannot just think of formless God within them or themselves as formless. So at least Arunachala Hill can help them to get back to their formless awareness. And whole his life he stayed in Arunachala. He lived in caves, he lived in temples. And then finally, when his mother passed away when he was 43 years of age, her samadhi was built, and then he moved in 1922, which is now known as Ramana Ashram.
Yes.
So this year is actually 100 years of Ramana Ashram, which we are celebrating. This year we are celebrating 100 years of Ramana Ashram.
Oh, okay.
So 100 years occurred because the temple, the ashram came in existence because he started living there in 1922. So and recently we concluded Bhagwan's 143rd Jayanti also.
Yes.
And my suggestion is that place is only for an ardent spiritual seeker, mumukshutva. the one who is having mumukshutva bhav, who has longing to know the self. It's not a tourist place. I would not say you should go as a tourist, otherwise you will get bored.
No, yeah, you'll definitely get bored. You'll sleep.
If you go with that one pointed aim of knowing the self, knowing the God realization, definitely it will help you more than whatever sadhana you are doing in your life.
Yeah.
Just going in
Yeah.
presence of Arunachala, in presence of Bhagwan. And it's not just Bhagwan who went to Arunachala and made us recognize Arunachala. Thousands and thousands of saints and sages stayed, did their tapas, were enlightened and went there, and got enlightenment when they did tapas there. And from time immemorial, including Shiva's wife, Parvati, she did tapas there. Gautama Rishi was there. And even in Bhagwan,
it's called Pachiyaman.
Yeah, but we call Parvati in the north.
Yes,
so
yes.
So the thing is that if your aim is to connect with Bhagwan, you can connect with his picture, you can connect with his teachings. His most pertinent teaching is self-inquiry.
Yeah.
You try to find out who you are, because we all keep playing a role in form of an ego, which is absurd, which is selfish, which is greedy, which is unhappy. But when you question that, if you intensely question, it disappears and leave you in bliss and peace and connecting you to the source. So that is his teaching. And going there, staying and meeting ardent devotees and humble people, everyone helps there, All this, it becomes like a Bhagwan's family. Everyone is connected in that. People from all over the world, they come there. You will find people from almost every country come there to visit, and some stay there longer also.
Yes. It pulls you. It's a magnetic field. I don't know how to explain Arunachala. For me, it's like, oh my God, it pulls me all the time. I think that's my destination for this life. I feel like it's my destination.
I would say buck stops there, no more search, nothing to look, seek. It is the end.
Yeah, it is the end.